So the fourth test between India and Australia is over, and with that, the amazing series that we've got to see over the past 1 month. And what we witnessed today was just pure greatness. Four heroes today for me. Cheteshwar Pujara, who was out there, who was giving the inning stability. Rishabh Pant, absolute hero. I think he's the biggest hero today. He kept on believing. He kept on going for the win when, people, including me, thought maybe going for the draw was the safer option, but Rishabh Pant didn't believe in that. He wanted to go for the win, and he went for the win, and he got it in heroic fashion. Shubman Gill with that amazing 91 at the beginning. He was scoring runs at a quick pace as well. He also had the win in his mind. Now, number 4, obviously Washington Sundar. Now, he only did score 22, but he went to the crease once Mayank Agarwal got out, and at that point, it looked like Australia might have a chance at winning this, and the safer option would be for India to go for the draw. But Washington Sundar, I think obviously Rishabh Pant was still going to go for the win. He didn't care what was happening on the other end. But I think Washington Sundar hit some amazing shots. He lightened the burden on Rishabh Pant, and he put the pressure back on Australia. I think that was a turning point when Washington Sundar went out there and he started hitting those boundaries and hitting those sixes. And Rishabh Pant got some much needed support. At that point, the whole match flipped because India was suddenly scoring runs at a lightning pace, and suddenly Australia were on the back foot. And if you saw the match today, you could see that was the point, where the match changed in India's favor. At that point, it was looking like Australia would go for the win and India would just try and hang on for dear lives. But when Washington Sundar and Rishabh Pant started scoring runs quickly, that was the point where the whole script flipped against Australia. You could see Australia dejected and disappointed out there in the field. They were anticipating the result. They anticipated an Indian win. And they weren't even celebrating the wickets. When Shardul Thakur and Washington Sundar got out, they did have a glimmer of hope, but they didn't even celebrate because at that point, I think they had just given up in their heads. And Rishabh Pant, he is the man of the match, the man of the day. That guy kept on playing for the win even when wickets were being lost at the other end. He continued to believe, and this is exactly why he's in the team. He might be a bit inconsistent, and I have always thought that he's inconsistent, but after today, I need to rethink what I have said about him, because Rishabh Pant is a champion. He's a savior. What he did today was amazing. First victory for any visiting team at the Gabba in 32 years. Beating this Australian team at a venue where they felt they were unbeatable. They hadn't lost for 32 years. This is something I couldn't even imagine, and no one could imagine when this series started. Even before the 4th test match, India was so injury ravaged. You couldn't even imagine that India could go on and beat Australia at a venue where all these amazing teams have toured Australia, and they have failed to beat them in the last 32 years. That is just mind-boggling for me. Also, another record that got broken today, the highest successful run chase in Test cricket at the Gabba was 236. Back in 1915, Australia did it. And 2021, this young, inexperienced Indian side is going to break that, and it's going to chase down a target which was 100 runs, almost 100 runs more than the original record, which was set almost 70 years ago now. So unbelievable scenes at the Gabba. What we've witnessed today is simply unbelievable. It puts us in dreamland, all of us as Indian fans. And, this is why Test cricket is so special. So for all of you out there who believe that Test cricket is boring, watch this series. This series was amazing from the get-go. Totally competitive. India never gave up. Australia never gave up. India, against all odds, never gave up. Won this series. What an amazing place to be as an Indian fan right now. Great places, Indian cricket is heading to, looking at these youngsters who just never give up. India have beaten Australia in Australia for the second tour in a row. Last time, there were talks about, they didn't have Warner, they didn't have Steven Smith. This time they had everyone. And India didn't have a host of players, including Virat Kohli, KL Rahul, and the list goes on. And yet they managed this. Amazing thing today. These players deserve all the praise in the world. And this is why Test cricket is so special. And Indian Test cricket, it's in good hands now. Also, just in the end, thanks to everyone who's been watching my reactions throughout this Test series. I've had an amazing time, reacting and watching this Test series. Hope you've had a great time watching my videos. And, just thanks for supporting.